Welcome to Book Affairs, your TV book program where we talk about no other thing but books. The last time we met on this program, we featured a book, we featured the writer, and we talked about the contents of that book. We do this because we want our society to become more knowledgeable. The only way our society can become more knowledgeable is that we get more people reading, because reading makes people to become wiser and more knowledgeable. Without reading, we become rather too illiterate. We become too poorly minded to govern and participate fully in societal activities. Somebody said, readers are leaders. We are trying to make you good leaders on this show. And that's why I will always enjoin you to get a copy of any book you see and read it. You are welcome to Book Affairs, your TV book program. Yomi Ogunye is my name. We are not going to deviate from the tradition of the program. Today we are going to feature a book, another book, a new book, the title of which is Dear Teenagers. Dear Teenagers is written by Oluwalonimi Oniya. She will be my guest. She is the writer of this book. And my guest, Miss Oluwalonimi Oniya. You are welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, sir.
You are the writer of Dear Teenagers.
Yes, sir.
Before we go into what you have written, my audience would like to meet you. Kindly introduce yourself to us.
Okay. I'm Oluwalonimi Oniya. Oluwalonimi Morenike Oniya. I studied French at ADME College of Education, now University of Education in Ondo. And Dear Teenagers is my first published book. I run an NGO for teenagers, and the aim for this NGO is to help to impact teenagers and help them to make more informed decisions at the journey into adulthood. That is the aim. I'm also an agripreneur. I believe that agriculture is the oil of Nigeria economy.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm glad to know that you are into agriculture too.
Yes, sir.
One day you will become one of those feeding us. You do that in addition to writing.
Yes, sir.
So if I may ask you, how did you start your journey into writing?
I started as a child. I used to write when I was age 5, 6. I used to writing stories. You know, growing up, my younger siblings and I have 5 of them. We used to see a lot of movies with my dad, from cartoons to the American movies, several movies, and we used to discuss these things. So my dad was the reader kind. I had the reader kind of dad. My mom too is also a reader. She taught me how to read, and he used to get encyclopedias. He would buy different kind of books, newspapers, bring it to the house. So we would read, we would debate, we would argue about these things. So I found that I naturally wanted to express myself through writing. I used to be this very introverted child. But along the line, when I got to understand that I'm going to have to deal with people, I began to learn how to deal with people. Now I can maneuver my way with people that are much older than me, younger than me, in my age range, but I had to learn these things. So I started writing at a very young age. I used to write normal stories, like I said earlier. But as I began to grow and discover more about myself and understand purpose, understand self-development, understand growth, I began to write with intent. I began to write more purposefully. So it wasn't just about just writing stories. I want the person's life to be transformed in this area, in that area. So that is how it has been for me.
I really like that robust presentation. That's quite interesting. If I may ask you, what informed your choice of the title? Let's start from the title. Why Dear Teenagers?
Okay. Well, initially, the title, the first title I used for the book was, I just wanted something that would be more like, okay, how can a teenager be successful? Okay, let me talk about the reason why my heart beats for teenagers. You know, I understand that when it comes to life, an average adult you can determine what an average adult's life would look like if you look back at what they were doing in their teenage years. It plays a very large determinant in their adult life. A lot of us, you know, we just jumped into adulthood. Like, we just woke up one day and we were just like, oh, now I'm 20, I'm 21, I'm 22, and I'm just an adult, weren't informed about what to do. So all these adult responsibilities just came like a shock to us. We weren't well prepared, we were not informed about what to do, what not to do about this situation and all. So the reason why I'm more passionate about teenagers, because I strongly believe that if we can invest so much in them. The teenage age is a stage where people have so many problems with identity. They want to know who they are. They want to know what they want to spend the rest of their life doing. So all these things, if not properly checked, that's why teenagers fall into the hands of peer pressure. They fall into social vices. They fall into all manner of things. So if we can, use that age to inform them about what life really entails, inform them about what to do, what not to do, how to go about it. Tell them that okay, it's okay for you to make your mistakes, but repeating them is not the good thing to do, and so on and so forth. So many other things they need to know. It will help them to transition into a better prepared adulthood. It will influence their choice of a career, their choice of a spouse, their choice of whatever it is they want to do with their adult years, to save them so much headache and stress. Truly, they say experience is the best teacher, but then I believe that you don't have to have. I mean, if we're going to live, even if we will live for like 200 years, how many experiences do you want to have? Direct experiences do you want to have in this life to be able to get something right? So I just believe they could convert somebody else's experience into theirs and live a more productive life. So that is actually the aim. So what informed my title for this book? I just wanted something that would be able to, okay, like an average teenager don't know, they are not very sure about how successful they will turn out to be later on in life. But then I want to let them understand. Then some of them actually think, okay, because of their background, maybe they are from poor families, or the kind of religion they practice, or whatever the case may be, that okay, success would not smile at them. So the book is written to help them understand that whatever your background is, whatever the mistakes you've made, you are still young, you can get up and correct it.
You have spoken very smoothly. I want to believe writing the book has not been as smooth as you have been speaking here. What challenges did you pass through while writing this?
Yes. While writing Dear Teenagers, I wrote Dear Teenagers in a month. It was written March, in the month of March this year, 2021. And yes, while writing Dear Teenagers, I had, I was working, I was doing some other things, and I was writing this book. And this person that if it is below excellence, like I just don't take it. So I would not give something that is not excellent. And also I wanted to put out a masterpiece. I didn't want to just write. I've read so many books, so many Nigerian books, and we read a lot of books, and then we're like, well, I don't really like the content. It has a nice cover, but then the content is not so good. So I wanted something practical, something that teenagers could flow with, something that that they could relate, that was relatable, that every teenager could read and see themselves inside. I wanted every mindset about success that we have to be represented in the book. So it took a lot of research work, scientific research work, psychological research, emotional research. I went for these researches online, asking people questions and all. So it wasn't very easy. It was challenging because in Nigeria we don't really have all the resources we need at the snap of our fingers. You have to go extra mile to get some of the things you want. So writing was one. Writing is not usually difficult for me because the moment I just pick up my pen, I'm flowing. But then it wasn't easy because I didn't have a system of my own, so I wrote the book with my phone, which is
You
which
wrote
is
on
not
your
easy.
phone. You type
Yes,
directly into
I
your phone.
typed directly with my phone, so it wasn't easy at all using my phone to write. It's a 100-page book, so using a phone to write something that voluminous is not easy. That was that. Then when it got to after writing the proofreading aspect, the publication aspect wasn't easy, and that's because we have so many people in Nigeria who do they don't do business. Like when they do business, they are not all out for excellence. So I fell in the wrong hands. I paid some money to the first person who was supposed to publish the book for me, They didn't do what I wanted. I had to change, give it to another person. So all these things are things I experienced. So I won't say it was easy. It wasn't easy.
It wasn't easy, and I'm sure others are learning from you. You said it earlier that they do not really have to pass through all those challenges before they learn.
Yes,
We can learn from
yes.
the mistakes of
Mm-hmm.
others. You've done a very good job by
Thank you,
writing Dear Teenagers.
thank you, sir.
What's the size of the book? How many chapters do we have here? You said 100 pages.
Yes, Dear Teenagers consists of 5 chapters.
5 chapters
Yes,
and 100 pages.
yes, sir.
Now, when you were writing, apparently you have written for the young people, the
Yes, sir.
teenagers.
Yes, sir.
What impact did you have in mind that this book will engender on the teenagers? What do you want a teenager reading your book to grasp from it?
When I was writing Dear Teenagers, I had 3 things in mind. The very first thing I had in mind is I wanted the teenagers to be able to flow and enjoy the book. It is a mind shift kind of book. It's written to shift their minds from the mediocre mindset that most young people are accustomed to due to our religion and culture in this part of the world. So it's written to shift their mindset from being mediocre to being all out and going for what they want, going passionately, going unapologetically for what they want out of life, facing demands out of life, getting what they want out of life. So that was the very first thing I had in mind. The second thing I had in mind was I didn't want to bore them because I understand very well from my experience. Though as a teenager, I was the reading teenager, but then I had friends who did not read. It wasn't because they didn't want to, but then it takes discipline for you to open a book and then read through. It takes a lot of discipline and seriousness. So I wanted them to be able to flow. And I know that teenagers can flow more with something that is more like a story. So I wrote it like a story. They can easily flow with it. There is comedy in it. There is so many things to just spice it up. But then the message I'm trying to pass across, the prerequisite for success, everything is being passed across even in the midst of the storytelling. Then the third thing is I wanted them to understand that for everyone who would, it's actually written to, I have 2 audiences. The major audience is the teenagers. The second is the guardians of these teenagers. And the reason is because if you really want, if you they say okay, if you want to get somebody, if you want to get a criminal, you have to become like a criminal. So if you want to understand the way these teenagers think, why they act the way they have, then you have to be able to be exposed to some things they are exposed to help you understand how best to deal with them. So for guardians who really love their teenagers, it's something that they would want to go through. You want to know what content they are digesting. So I had it in mind that okay, I did not want to bore them. I wanted them to flow. And at the same time, I wanted them to know that at the end of reading this book, no matter where, whatever stage they are, whatever present status they were in their lives, they can always pick up from that and run with it and get something out of life. So that was what I had in mind.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that, and I want to believe that the average Nigerian youth or teenager reading this will have quite a lot to learn.
Yes.
And viewer, thank you very much for watching us. For some time, you've been watching and listening to me, Soluwalonimi Oniya, the writer of Dear Teenagers, who has been telling us quite a lot about her book. She told us about the challenges. She told us how she surmounted these challenges, and she told us the purpose of writing this book. When we come back, she will tell us more. Don't go away. Welcome back. You are still watching Book Affairs, your TV book program, and my guest, Oluwalonimi Oniya, the writer of Dear Teenagers, is still very much on set. She's been telling us quite a lot. She will be telling us more about what she has written. And my writer, my guest,
Yes,
once
sir.
again, I welcome you.
Thank you, sir.
You have spoken with candor, and I really appreciate your effort in writing this book. So if I may ask you at this juncture, what type of book is this?
Dear Teenagers is a transformational book. I like to call it transformational because everyone who has read it has had something about their lives that became transformed, that got to the next level. They have something, they had a kind of belief system that shifted or that became transformational. So it's a transformational book. That is how I would
All right.
describe it.
Thank you. So whoever reads this book should expect that his life or her life would change. It is
Yes.
supposed to transform or shift the mindset of that person from
Yes.
what you call mediocre
Yes,
level,
sir.
to
Yes.
another.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
I would like you to do something for us. It is
Okay.
a normal ritual that we observe on this program. The writer reads a portion of the book. So we are not going to deviate from that tradition. So you read a portion of the book for us.
Okay, sir. So I'll be reading page 15 of Dear Teenager, the fourth paragraph. To become successful, certain things must change about you. The very first thing to change is your mindset. The mind is the factory that produces our realities as people. The contents of the mind determine who we are and who we are not. This also determines our attitude to life. Our attitude to life determines our overall results out of life. You cannot be greater than whatever the content of your mind is.
Thank you very much. Your reasoning determines your greatness in success in life.
Yes, sir.
There is a lot more in that portion you have just read. And if I may ask you, what point or what other points are you trying to bring out of that?
Yeah. Basically, everything we are starts from our inner self. It starts from what we have conceived in our mind. There's this saying that if you can see it, you can have it. Or if you can think it, then you can get it. You cannot think of getting, you cannot even dream of getting what you've never thought about. If you ask some people, oh, why didn't you actually do it this way? You hear things like, oh, it never occurred to me. Person is simply saying, I never thought about it that way. So our mindset is actually our realities. That's what bets our realities. That is why even with the way the Nigerian economy is present, we have people who still live in the abundance mindset. They live in the no scarcity, no limitation mindset. So such people, instead of making excuses as to why a thing cannot work, they give you more reasons why it could work. More like the pessimistic and the optimistic mindset. So whatever it is that we want to do, we have to first of all see it in our mind. Even the Bible says that as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. If you are not seeing whatever you're not picturing in your mind, then you cannot set out to achieve. So whatever it is that you want to do, you want to get, whatever result you want to get out of life, it has to start from the mind.
Earlier, you talked about the impact you want the book to engender on the reader. And you also said at some time that some people have read it. Now, let's hear or get to know some of the reaction of the readers. What has been the response of the public to your book?
Okay. Well, the response has been really encouraging. I've had I've had people from different age range read the book. I've had adults, I've had very elderly people, younger people read it, and it has been very encouraging. For the teenagers, I have someone who read the book, and she's an SS2 student. She was thinking of dropping out of school. She got fed up of the whole system and all, but then reading the book made her understand that she could not do that. So she decided to stay and get something out of life. One of the things that the book teaches is that whatever you are doing, whatever you are currently in, you have to go all in for it and get the best out of it. And some other people that have read the book, one of the comments somebody made that is very dear to me is he said even adults can actually pick the book and read because it's going to give them a redirection to their lives. Some of them actually missed out on some of the information in the book when they were growing, so it will help them to even redirect even as adults. So I've been getting very positive comments so far.
It's quite interesting knowing that the writer of Dear Teenagers is a young person. If I may ask you, I would want you to tell us what you think the reading habit of young people of your age is in our society? Is it commendable?
No, it is definitely not commendable.
Tell us more.
The reading habit in the society now, especially between among young people, is pathetic. It is very catastrophic. And well, I wouldn't blame them. I would blame it on the school system. I would blame it on the family system. Like I said earlier, I had parents who are readers. So they passed on this culture to us, either consciously or unconscious, and they made it very interesting. My dad would get encyclopedias that had pictures, that had catchy pictures. So I was always interested, even though I finally ended up being in arts class. But then I knew so much about sciences. Even till now, I engage my counterpart, my friends who are in the field of sciences. We talk about so many things because I'm exposed in that area. So we have a lot of families. Some parents don't actually read. Some don't even get gifts. Like one of the things you can buy for me that I would treasure, that you can give to me as a gift, is books, either e-copy or hard copy books. I value it so much. I get very excited because that is the way I was brought up.
And in
Yes.
just one short sentence, what final comment would you like to make in form of advice to the public?
Yes, to the public, I want to encourage my advice is a twofold advice. I would like to encourage teenagers whom I wrote this book for in the first place that teenagers, you should not try to grow up too early. Don't be deceived. Don't try to grow up too early. You are teenagers. Enjoy your teenagehood. Use this period to volunteer. Use it to find out more about it. Use it to discover yourself more. Use it to
Thank you very much. They must not try to grow up too
yes, too
early.
early.
The
Yes,
young ones must use the opportunity of their youthfulness
yes.
to learn in order to master growing up and the challenges that all of that entail. Thank you
Entails,
very much,
yes.
Oluwalunimi
Thank you,
Oniya,
sir.
for being with us. We look forward to hosting another book written by you some other time.
Thank
Thank
you,
you
sir.
very much for being with us on this show.
Thank you for
And
having me, sir.
viewer, thank you very much for watching us. You have been listening to Oluwalunimi Oniya, the writer of Dear Teenagers. She has said it all. She wants parents, the school, and the entire society to show more interest in reading, because reading will help us to build the younger ones who, as we all expect, will become the leaders of tomorrow. Do join us again same time next week for another educative edition of Book Affairs, your TV book program. Today we talked about Dear Teenagers by Oluwalunimi Oniya. Some other time we will be finding another book to talk about. Yomi Ogunye is my name. Thank you very much for watching us, and goodbye.